Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we'll try to answer where we are in the grander scheme of things with respect to the crypto market cycle. None of the content is financial advice. So, over the last couple of weeks or so, the market has continued its downturn. This is the Crypto Weeklies bull market completion indicator available over here under the peak valley indicators on cryptoweeklies.com. All of the content on the website is available for free. No signups, no ads. So if you like this kind of analysis, please give us a like and subscribe to stay updated. So this is the bull market completion indicator based on the risks in the market between 0 and 1. 1 is maximum risk, that means bull market is closer to completion. 0 is minimal risk, that is as close to a start of a new bull market as possible. So for example, December 2022, the risks were, again, risk can never be 0. It's a risk asset after all. It's very close to 0 towards the end of December 2022. And these risks are segmented into buckets of 20% increments of risk. That means between 0 and 0.2, it's the lowest risk. We visited that lowest risk back in early November of 2024. Ever since that, we haven't visited risks lower than 20%. Again, we came really close over the course of early part of April of 2025. Risk were at 1.0.206. That means almost close to 20%. The last iteration we went there was back in November 2024. In early December, the risk went to this orange color that indicates high risk, between 60 and 80%. The highest risk is above 80%. That's the peak euphoria that the market saw. Again, if you zoom back in 2021, back in early April 2021 and May, and then a cool off in summer, then back to the high risk in early part of November of 2021. We haven't seen that kind of a blow off top. Again, this is calculated by how the top 100 cryptos are doing with respect to volatility, alpha, beta, risk adjusted return or Sharpe ratio, percent drawdown, to provide a holistic view, a single metric to identify the holistic view of the market. Again, the risks have gone up slightly. Again, hopefully if there is a base formed over here around 20% risk and does not signal a cool off to the point of lowest risk this late into the bull run of 2025, that could bode well in the future. If we were to analyze what is happening at a weekly level, in terms of which narratives are popular at this point in time in the market, the narrative cloud helps identify the social media related activity related to crypto, and if the market is overall bearish or bullish, the strength of or the size of this narrative identifies what is gaining popularity. In the last 7 days, the bullish sentiment is back up. Bearish sentiment has gone down. There have been discussions mostly related to Bitcoin and a breakout, and talking about breakout related signals, and some of the other lower capped market cap coins, again in the top 20, or close enough to the top 20, such as Bitcoin, such as Ethereum, Solana, Hedera, Cardano, XRP. These are some of the popular narratives, discussion based on crypto asset specific narrative. Again, there is a buy signal being discussed on the social media platforms related to crypto, and presidential discussions related to crypto specific narratives are also popular. But what is not popular as much right now is altcoins in general are not as popular as Bitcoin on the social media platforms such as YouTube and X. That is because most of the mind share is still held by Bitcoin at this stage of the bull run or this stage of the market cycle. In terms of the last 24 hours worth of news related to crypto markets, the crypto TLDR platform helps identify what is happening in the market. And again, in terms of confidence percentage between 0 and 100, and the color, again, green color is bullish narratives discussed over the last 24 hours, yellow is neutral or could lean slightly bullish, and red is more towards the bearish narrative. So again, the size of or the confidence level, again, they at times they get stacked on top of each other. Again, although it says 100%, they are two different distinct narratives. Due to the size of this chart, they are stacked on top of each other. Again, related to Solana, and Solana being right now in peril. In terms of the bearish narrative, there are fewer and farther in between. There are some bullish narratives, but overall the narrative over the last 24 hours are towards neutral, and due to the size of this bearish narratives being higher in terms of the percentage of or the confidence score, the overall sentiment is kind of down right now, about 15%, or from between 0 and 100 is close to this red area. In terms of now, and this is and understood using text sentiments and also news related to crypto over the last 24 hours. If we are now focusing attention on what are some of the heat map or some of the indicators with respect to the price action over the last key performance period. Again, you can see over here the 24-hour barometer. Again, some of the cryptos are rallying. Most of them are up over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, most of them are up between, again, if you take a median or over here, somewhere between 5% and 3% and 5% are up. Some are down. Over the last 30 days, most of the cryptos are down, with a handful exceptions over here. Over the last 90 days, most of the market is down. So that's the signal with respect to the price action. If you were to analyze the Bitcoin and ETH specific narratives, where we are in terms of the ROI and the risk, SMA risk. First, we'll start with the ROI. The ROI for Bitcoin in 2025 is this blue line, whereas in 2021, which was the last post-halving year, right now at this point in time, during early part of April, or even you can say around April 20th, that is today, in 2021, Bitcoin was up by 92% from the yearly open. Now we are down, Bitcoin is down 9.5% from the yearly open. A series of since about this January 2025, there have been a series of lower highs and lower lows for Bitcoin. Again, a key level to watch if Bitcoin were to rally beyond this 7% down from the yearly open to, let's say, slightly more positive or slightly less negative from that point in time. That could bode well for Bitcoin and in general the wider market, as it correlates to Bitcoin and ETH. So this is Bitcoin versus ETH. Again, this is available on SMA risk analysis. This is linear and time adjusted and proportional risk analyzed between what is the price of Bitcoin and ETH and what is the 20-week moving average at any point in time. So this is based on this relationship between the price and the 20-week simple moving average. The risk levels are classified between lowest risk to highest risk, again broken down in increments of 20% or 0.2 risk level increments. Again, this model did identify the top for Bitcoin early in November 2024, as well as in mid-December of 2024. Back then the price of Bitcoin was close to 100k. Now if we look at the price of, let's say, start with ETH at around $1,600, and Bitcoin right now at around $84,000 in the week of December. Again, this is December 16. That's when Bitcoin went beyond 100k, and again in November, as this indicator suggested, on 21st of November, price of Bitcoin was close enough to that 100k, first iteration close enough to that 100k level. So that's where this analysis helps identify some of the risk of time period, again where the risks have elevated quite a bit, and the likelihood of them going down is higher. Right now the risk of accumulation for Bitcoin is at around 20% with respect to some of the best times to DCA. Again, whenever the risk is less than 20%, that's where, again, as late as again 10 to 12 days before today, prior to today, the risk were less than 20%. Again, you can see back then the price of Bitcoin did come close to that 75k level. Now it's at around 84, 85k. So now going back to the analysis for Ethereum and Ether also, right now the risk is at around 10%. Again, if you check price of Ether, again that is also in terms of its USD pair is in a free fall since the trend kind of broken down to the downside, since the price is now much lower than that 2500 level. Now it's around 1500 level, looking for some sort of support over here at around 1550. So let's see if that support holds. But in the larger scheme of things, and now going back to the analysis on the estimated bull run target at a higher level, where this market could top with this kind of market cycle and the risk levels at where they are right now. If we start with Bitcoin, again per this model, right now the weighted risk for Bitcoin is at around 1/3. So potentially if the risk were to go to the 100% level, that is all of the model flagging 100% risk, the peak for Bitcoin could be at around 250k. If we take a conservative estimate saying that this models, again there is no guarantee that all of the risk go to 100% at the peak. Let's say they go only to 60% of this level, so that 100 to 250k roughly speaking, if we take a 60% of that, over here we can check over here, 60% is 0.6 into 250k estimate, it comes close to the 150k Bitcoin price. And if the instead of 60% we take a 80%, where that is that the peak for BTC could be, that takes the price, estimated price at around 200k. Similarly for ETH, if we do the current weighted risk analysis, right now only 8% risk per this model. If it were all of the models were to signal 100% risk, price of Ether could be close to $19,000. Again that would be 12x from here. Again this late into the bull run, taking a conservative estimate of about 50 to 70% of this could be more insightful at around 9. Let's take a 50% of that 19k level to estimate what could be a theoretical peak for Ether at around 9,500. If we take a 70% to get towards some of the higher end at around 13,300 for Ether. And with that, I would like to conclude the video by saying that currently with the risk reward at this point in time at around 25% completion of bull run, and some of the SMA risk and for BTC and ETH being fairly low, but less than 40%, that's still in the lower risk area for accumulation. Again there are some macro concerns at this point in time, so do your own due diligence with respect to that. And with that, I would like to conclude the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.